of hybridization trials at a station level and organize multi-location trial also. Involved in the seed production of castor, maize, paddy, and at ground. Apart from this, he also having the experience also. He is sir also associated with the teaching various courses of genetic plant breeding and seed technology. And sir also involved in the extension activities also. So organize various field days, Kisan Mela, and organize a field visit to the farmers. Then he published research articles in NASA rating more than 6 and participate in the national and international seminar symposium organized by the different organizations. So with this brief biodata, so I thanks to Dr. Dhananjay to take over the session.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ashok Suram sir, for giving introduction about Dr. Vidhyadh Bonta. Sir, on behalf of University of Horticulture Sciences, Bagalkot and College of Horticulture, Bidar, we are welcoming you for giving lecture on vegetable seed production in protected cultivation and overview. Please, sir, over to you, sir. Vidhyadh, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dhananjay, and all the organizers. So, good evening, dear all participants of this 10 days national training program. I'm very glad to be here to talk about vegetable seed production in protected cultivation and overview. I'll straight away lead you to my lecture. Many of you knew about protected cultivation and seed production of vegetable crops in these polyhouses. Please make a note that my emphasis is totally on different polyhouses and not about greenhouses. Let me start this training by asking a simple question: what is protected cultivation? And cultivation of crops under covered structures. The covering material may be glass or polythene sheets is called as protected cultivation. The usage of glass is very minimal compared to polythene sheets for the construction of polyhouses, or otherwise called as protected structures. These protected structures are designed as per climate needs of the area so as to enable the polyhouse to endure the harsh climate that prevails in that locality. It may be temperature, relative humidity, wind velocity, and type of soils. And when we are talking about type of soils, it may be acidic or too alkaline or sandy soils. So when we are talking about the protected cultivation, we should remember the Indo-Israel project on polyhouse cultivation. So in India, the first high-tech protected cultivation of vegetables and other high-value horticultural crops came through the establishment of Indo-Israel project on polyhouse cultivation in the premises of Indian Agricultural Research Institute located at New Delhi during the year 1998. Even after the end of the 5 years plan project by the year 2003, still the IRI continued to maintain the same facility by naming it as the Center for Protected Cultivation Technology, CPCT. The CPCT has managed to refine and upgrade the structures in order to reduce the cost of establishment, in addition to designing new polyhouse structures in order to suit location-specific needs of the country. I want to ask every one of you that why should we think about protected cultivation? Because protected cultivation make it possible year-round production of vegetables, harsh environment to be overcome by cultivating vegetables in different protected systems. Multiple cropping is possible on the same piece of land, and off-season production of vegetables is possible to get better harvest and return to the farmers. Production of high quality and healthy seedlings of vegetables for transplanting in open field will enabling the farmers to get early crop. Use of protected vegetable cultivation can increase production as well as productivity per unit land, water, energy, and labor. It supports the production of high quality and clean products. It makes cultivation of vegetables possible in areas where cultivation of vegetables in open field is not possible, such as high altitudes and deserts. It makes vertical cultivation of vegetables possible using technologies like hydroponics, aeroponics, etc., and use of vertical beds for production. Disease-free seed production of costly vegetables becomes very easy under protected cultivation. The potential of polyhouse production technology to meet the demands of producing good nutrition and healthy foods and quality vegetables free from pesticides can be fully exploited. Controlled environmental conditions are used for early raising of nurseries, off-season production of vegetables, seed production, and even protecting the valuable germplasm. So management and control of insect pest diseases and weeds is easier. Maintenance of stock plants, cultivating grafted plantlets, and seasoning of micro-propagated plant materials can also be done. So the different components of protected cultivation. Protected cultivation has two major components of technology. One is the infrastructure that involves cladding materials, frames, irrigation system, implements, tools, and other engineering inputs. The infrastructural inputs ensure availability of optimal light, temperature, plant growth needs, and water requirements. It involves most advanced engineering inputs such as automation, artificial intelligence, etc., that is used to regulate several parameters, most importantly, ventilation, which is one of the important parameters in a successful production of quality seed of vegetable crops. A major challenge with conventional design of polyhouses is the production of more heat within the protected structures, which needs to be either taken out or optimized by using fan and pad cooling system. This problem has been minimized by developing naturally ventilated protective structures where the temperature can be maintained at a desired level naturally. Fertigation and micro irrigation speaks a lot of science and technology, demanding continuous research for further improvement of its quality. It is the skill hand of the engineering that provides plants favorable microclimatic conditions to grow vegetable crops vigorously. The second component is crop production technology, development of high yielding hybrids and varieties suitable for protected cultivation is another important aspect of crop improvement. Many of you are aware about the greenhouse effect. Let me refresh you about this concept with one or two slides. The things that is conventional material, vegetable crops, and other objects that absorb major fraction of the sunlight emit long wave thermal radiations for which covering material has lower transparency. As a result, solar energy is trapped in the protected structures and raises the temperature inside the protected structures and is called greenhouse effect. More than 90% of the newly established greenhouses are being constructed by utilizing UV stabilized polythene sheets as the glazing material. Is a greenhouse effect useful? Yes, definitely it is useful to raise the temperature when we are growing this particular greenhouses in cold climate. And it is not useful where air temperature is to be brought down by arranging cool devices. So what are the different protected structures? We can say plastic greenhouses with natural ventilation, greenhouses with fan and pad cooling systems, solar greenhouses, especially in layer design, walk-in tunnels for dry temperate areas in Himachal Pradesh, plastic low tunnels, net houses, underground trenches, especially in Leh and Ladakh regions. Even though we grow vegetables in these structures, but taking up of the vegetable seed production is limited to few protected structures, namely high-tech polyhouse, semi-controlled environmental polyhouse, naturally ventilated polyhouse, insect-proof net house, plastic low tunnels, walk-in tunnels. Let me brief about all these polyhouses. The high-tech polyhouse, which is a fully automated polyhouse used for seed production of high-value vegetables like cherry tomato, sweet pepper, broccoli. And the major constraint is initial cost of the fabrication and the running cost is very high. The advantage is yield adequately of seed produced under these structures is always very high. This is the picture talking about, showing about the high-tech nursery where the climate is totally controlled. Coming to the second one, the semi-controlled environmental polyhouse, which is partially automated polyhouse. Fan and pad system is there, used for production of medium to high-value vegetables, including slicing tomatoes, parthenocarpic cucumber. The major constraints are high initial cost and running cost, and the advantage is yield of the crop and quality of the seed is always very high. And it is used for seed production of tomato, sweet pepper, cucumber, including parthenocarpic cucumber, summer squash and muskmelon, etc. But the duration for the seed crop and the seed yield are less compared to high-tech polyhouse. This is the picture showing the semi-controlled environmental polyhouse. Coming to the third one, that is a naturally ventilated polyhouse. The naturally ventilated polyhouse has vents at the top and the sides which exchanges air arising from the density difference of hot and cold air through the air vents. It is highly suitable for the floriculture and vegetable cultivation. Polyhouses are built of a pre-galvanized channel come tubular structure. The polyhouses are available in different sizes, and the sizes varies from small 100 square meters to 10,000 square meters and more. And the degree of sophistication also varies from simple polyhouse with polythene film covering to highly sophisticated, fully automated drip and fogger systems, PR lightings, full-scale computerized, almost we can say fully automated systems. So the fourth one is insect-proof net house that can be used commercially for seed production of sweet pepper, tomato, brinjal, and other vegetables like cucurbits, etc. These structures can be used to protect the crop against viruses and other insects like fruit borers during rainy and post-rainy season. The seed yield is always less compared to all kinds of polyhouses.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, please proceed, sir. Vidhyadh, sir, please proceed.
The cost of the seed production, which is also very less compared to the other sophisticated polyhouses. This is the insect-proof net house. The another one is plastic low tunnels. These can be used commercially for off-season seed production of cucurbits. The basic purpose is to advance the seed crops, which is not possible under open field conditions, especially in northern plains of India. These are the pictures showing the plastic tunnels. Now, walk-in tunnels, these can be used commercially for seed production of cucurbits like muskmelon, watermelon, summer squash, bottle gourd, bitter gourd, etc. during the off-season. But these structures can only be used during peak winter months to protect the crops against low temperature injury, especially during the months of December to mid-February, especially in North Indian plains. Walk-in tunnels, plastic low tunnels, and even rain shelters are suitable for raising crops, seed crops of onion, French bean, leek, garden pea, etc., especially in hills where their seed maturity coincides with the rains. So these are the walk-in tunnels which are used for the production of vegetables. So let me talk about what are the causes for greenhouse failure or the damage, or the polyhouse failure and damage. The structures constructed using too light GH frame trusses will be deformed by strong winds. Cladding material sometimes appear to be stronger than the structure, and the foundation not sufficiently secured against uplift forces. Polyfilm tearing because of rough and sharp edge of the frame. Damage of polyfilm often started from the ventilation openings. Coming to the area under protected cultivation, more than 55 countries around the world are growing crops in protected cultivation globally. The highest area is in China, that is 81,000 hectares, and followed by Spain. In India, the area under protected cultivation is 25,000 hectares. Himachal Pradesh alone has more than 3,000 hectares area under protected cultivation. So protected structures around the world. This is the picture showing the sea of plastic, Almeria, Spain, which is located in Almeria, Spain. And the greenhouse capital of Netherlands, with the furrows of artificial light. So when we will see the need of protected cultivation for vegetable seed production, we know pretty well that we are blessed with varied agroclimatic zones, but few regions only suitable for seed production because of high or low rainfall, high or low temperatures, long or short photo periods. And vegetable crops require specific climatic conditions for flowering, fruit set, and ripening. So maintenance of isolation distance is also a practical problem, which is associated with high pest and disease incidence and resulting poor fruit and seed yield, finally production of poor quality seed. So the scope for vegetable seed production and protected structures, the maintenance of and purity of varieties is easy. Isolation can be minimized. We can grow for gynoecious lines, male sterile lines, self and compatible lines. Especially in coal crops, the growth and yield of all these vegetable crops were found increasing because utilizing of a high rate of carbon dioxide inside the greenhouse. So since we are controlling the climate, production is possible around the year, more seed yield unit area, per unit area, and finally production of high quality seed. So the different methods of hybrid seed production of vegetables in protected cultivation. We will see the tomato, brinjal, sweet pepper, okra, chili, all these crops can be produced. The hybrid seed can be produced by doing hand emasculation and manual palliation. My predecessor speaker has made my presentation very easy by giving elaborated lecture on how to do emasculation and pollination techniques. So I'm just briefing, I'm not going in detail, just I'm letting you know what are the methods that are used for the production of hybrids in different crops under protected conditions. The pinching of staminate flowers and hand pollination is practiced in bitter gourd, bottle gourd, and pumpkin. And the removal of staminate flowers plus emasculation and hand pollination is practiced in watermelon and muskmelon. And functional male sterility and hand pollination will be practiced in tomato and brinjal. And the genetic male sterile lines plus bee pollination is a practice in chili. The cytoplasmic male sterile and natural pollination is allowed in capsicum, onion, cabbage, carrot, radish. The self-incompatibility and natural pollination in cauliflower and broccoli. The gynaeceous and natural pollination is practiced in cucumber and bitter gourd. And the PGR and natural pollination is practiced in squashes. The detasseling and wind pollination is practiced in sweet corn and baby corn. The procedure to be followed in seed production of vegetables in protected cultivation. The temperature is to be controlled, and we have to go for raised bed for plus drip irrigation, and also controlled fertigation as well as mulching. The training and pruning is of the canopy as well as fruit load is practiced so that we can get the good sized quality fruits, and the fruits will bear more number of seeds. The hand emasculation and pollination, hand pollination is, since it is a laborious process. So we are switching to male sterile lines or self-incompatible lines and their pollination. The pollination can be managed by hand, beehives, air blowers, electric vibrators. By even we can use the pollen after many days by preserving the pollen under cryopreservation conditions. So these are some of the pictures that are showing how to select the bird and how to emasculate it and how to tag it in different crops, especially in tomato. So you can see the hand pollination in cucurbits. So where we can collect the pollen and we can collect the pollen in petri plates, and we can dust on a stigmatic surface in brinjal. This is my picture when I worked at IRI in CPCT, Center for Protected Cultivation Technology. I have used different methods of pollination because the movement of the air is very low and it is not possible to get a pollination. So I have chosen different methods of pollination especially in cherry tomato. This is my practical picture. So in India, we are not practicing this beehives pollination because of the availability of the bees that are suitable to our environment is not there. So the survival rate is very low in our Indian conditions. So the practice of this particular pollination using beehives is not very common. So special operations are needed for production of vegetables. Like we should develop the nursery media. We have to treat this nursery media and integrated pest management strategies we have to take up, especially preventing measures, the scouting and early detection and curative measures we have to take up. When we will see the nursery media treatment, nursery growing medium may contain harmful disease-causing organisms, nematodes, insects, and weed seeds. So it should be decontaminated by heat treatment or by treating formalin, formaldehyde, and other agrochemicals. So the integrated pest management is practiced by preventing strategies or exclusion strategies, where we are using the physical barriers and the use of insect net proofs, especially the 10 by 20 microns or 10 by 22 micron size insect proof screens, where we can give adequate exclusion of whiteflies, but without impeding the natural enemies. The provision of double door is also important aspect in building a screened foyer to create a double door entry partially solve the problem of wind-carried insects. And use of reflective or metallized mulches are very effective in reducing silver leaf whitefly at entrance by 90%. Complete mulching of polyhouse it will prevent the weeds and become mechanical barrier to certain insects that move from plant parts to the soil for preparation. The examples includes the leaf miners, thrips, and other leptopteran insects. The ultraviolet radiation absorbing sheets shall be used to manipulate the UV vision of insects and effective in preventing the immigration of wide range of insect pests, especially whiteflies, aphids, thrips, and leaf miners. So different mesh sizes, we can see the insect pest, the hole size and the mesh. The leaf miner is, for controlling the leaf miner, we can go for 610 microns hole size. And the mesh is, that is number of threads per linear inch is 34. Whereas cotton whitefly is 462 and 42. And for aphid, it is 340 to 52. And for greenhouse whitefly, it is 290 and 58. Whereas thrips, it is 192 and 76. The sanitation is also very important, where we use of clean planting material or sterile soil tools, flats and other equipment, and maintain a clean, closely moved area around the greenhouse to reduce the invasion by pest that develops on weeds, especially outdoors. Dispose of trash, used boards, collected old plant debris, including weeds of that area is also very important to maintain the sanitation. The cultural practices like pre-sowing, cleanup, inspection upon arrival, balanced use of fertilizers, pinching and pruning, trap, trap and indicator plants, plant quarantine, and scouting and early detection is also very important. So when we will see the curative measures, the biological control is the best method, where we can use different predators, parasitoids, and entomopathogens against mites, whiteflies, thrips, leaf miners, aphids, caterpillars, etc. We can also go for chemical control against mites, thrips, whiteflies, aphids, leaf miners, and caterpillars. My suggestion is treating the soil, sanitation methods, following the sanitation methods, and treating the soil with heat is very effective when compared to the chemical control. Of course, chemical control will go when the IPM practices and all things are not, may not be effective in controlling the pests. We can also go for other methods like stick traps, where we can control, where we can control somewhat manage the pest by using the stick traps. So what are the advantages of protected structures? And I already told you, and it minimizes the isolation, it synchronizes the synchronization of flowering is possible. Synchronization of flowering in hybrid seed production is very difficult under open pollinated conditions, because the male and female parents will not come to flowering or maturity at the same time. So here in protected structures, the synchronization, or otherwise called nicking, is very easy to maintain by maintaining the temperature as well as photo period according to the availability and according to the appearance of that particular crop. We can also check the insect vectors, where we can maintain the genetic purity, and the best utilization of male sterility and self-incompatibility and gynaecious lines can be done, by which we can get more seed yield and best quality seed, and the seed with more seed viability and vigor. The limitations of this particular protected structures is manual and hand pollination, cross-pollinated vegetables like cucurbits. Development of their parthenocarp hybrids and varieties is very difficult and expensive. And the cladding material as well as the short life of the cladding material and expensive structure is also one of the limitations for opting for protected structures. Even the lack of appropriate tools and machinery is one of the limitations where the farmers are thinking about. And most importantly, the structure cost initially looks unaffordable, especially farmers with low or zero risk become reluctant to adapt this technology. So we have to work on the technologies where the farmer can take up easily under different environmental conditions for the production of vegetable seeds. And yes, the government is supporting this particular protected cultivation technology by providing the 50% assistance, especially for fan and pad system, where but the limitation is only they will give 50% assistance up to 4,000 square meters. Whereas wooden and bamboo structures, they are giving 50% assistance, but only for 20 units for beneficiary, and that too, it should not exceed 200 square meters. And for they are giving the shade net houses also by giving 50% assistance up to 200 square meters. Plastic tunnels, the government is giving for 50% assistance up to 1,000 square meters. Even for anti-bird or hay, 50% assistance, 5,000 square meters. Plastic mulching is about 50% they are giving, 2 hectares for beneficiary and 32,000 per hectare for plain areas and 36,800 rupees per hectare for hilly areas. Whereas the cultivation of high value vegetables grown under Polyhouse, 50% they are giving, but it is 140 square meters limited to 4,000 square meters per beneficiary. And still the government is giving support for the establishment of what is called the assistance has been provided under Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture, MIDH, for promotion of seed production. This mission envisages promoting the seed production for vegetables and spices. Estimated cost of vegetable seed production is 35,000 per hectare for open pollinated crops, whereas for hybrids it is 1.5 lakhs per hectare, and assistance is about 100% for the total cost for the public sector. Of course, the limitation is it will give only for 5 hectares. In the case of private sector, assistance is 50% of the cost of the credit linked back-ended subsidy for a maximum area for 5 hectares per beneficiary. For private sector, assistance is 35% in general areas and 50% in Northeast and Himalayan states, and also tribal sublands areas and Andaman, Nicobar and Lakshadweep Islands. The assistance has also been provided under MIDH for establishment of high-tech nurseries. As per Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture, guidelines for establishing high-tech nursery, that is 4 hectares, cost norms about 25 lakhs per hectare and applicable 100% to public sector, limited to only 100 lakh units, 1,000 lakh per unit. In case of private sector, credit linked back-ended subsidy, the rate of 40% of cost, subsidy to a maximum of 40 lakhs per unit for a maximum of 4 hectares as project-based activity on pro rata basis. In small nursery, that is 1 hectare, which costs about 15 lakhs per hectare, the 100% they are giving assistance to public sector. Whereas in case of private sector, credit linked bank-ended subsidy of cost subject to the maximum of 7.5 lakhs per unit as project-based activity. So these are the support by this MIDH, that is Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture. The government is supporting for the seed production of vegetables and hybrids, as well as establishment of high-tech nurseries. So the standardization, when we will see the standardization of proper design of construction of polyhouse is needed, and computerized control system is also needed. Developing cost-effective agro techniques is again the farmers are waiting for. And the major research activities on growing of vegetables under protected covers should be launched by ICR and SAUs. But ICR and ICR, some of the institutes are working in, but SAUs are still take up this particular activity. The emphasis should be given to develop own hybrids or varieties in the local institutions at cheaper rate. As many of you are aware that we are importing many of the hybrids from abroad for production, especially for protected cultivation. So when we are working on the cherry tomato, it is the cost of the seed per kg is 1.5 lakhs per kg. So that is the cost, and some of the crops it is more than 3 lakhs, and they are providing not on kg basis, they are giving on number basis. 5 seeds, 10 seeds, or 15 seeds, like that they are selling. So the importance of hybrid seeds is emphasized. We have to do our own research, and we have to develop the varieties in our institutions, so that the cost of the seed will be minimized, and the farmers will get benefited from it. The strengthening of government initiatives, especially in popularizing the greenhouse technology, the very mere number, I told you, only 25,000 hectares in India, we have the greenhouse technologies, but still a lot to do, a lot is expected from the government to take initiatives for the establishment of the polyhouse technologies, I can say, the polyhouse technologies, so that the farmers can take up the seed production, vegetable seed production, and can be able to produce more of what is called more of a quality seed, thereby the yield will be enhanced, and the farmers will definitely get the better yield by using the same cultivation. And by these things, I am concluding my talk. The polyhouse technology, the greenhouse or the polyhouse technology is still in its preliminary stage in India. And concrete efforts are required for all the concerned agencies to bring it at par with the global standards. Economically viable and technologically feasible greenhouse technologies suitable for the Indian agroclimatic and geographical conditions is needed at earliest. The globalization coupled with the economic liberalization will help in achieving these desirable results. Effort should be made to synthesize energy conservation or energy conserving materials, or the energy conserving structures. So the special incentive should be given to the farmers involved in vegetable seed production. So I thank all the organizers of this 10-day national online training program for giving this opportunity, and I thank all the organizers once again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vidhyadh sir, for giving such a nice, elaborative presentation on vegetable seed production in protected cultivation. Now, with the permission of speaker, now the session is open for discussion. If questions are from participant side, just unmute yourself and you can ask questions to the Bonta Vidhyadh.
Yeah. So wish you a happy new year, advance happy new year.
Wish you the same, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Sir, I want to ask one question. There is a very big problem considering the nematodes in greenhouses. So what we can do regarding the same?
Sir, soil, I told you soil hot air treatment is the best, sir. And allowing the soil to dry up is another important, and opting for what is called the entomopathogen. I already told you, like any mites, the predators like phytocillus and all these what is called the biological control things will be better, sir. Actually, it is a problem. The crop rotation should also be done, that, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why? Because majority of the cases, what we observed is they are growing only the crops which are beneficial or which are giving more yield or having more economic value in the market. So that is the problem. So there is no change, there is no crop rotation. That is the reason why the nematode population has been building up over the years, and finally the farmers could not able to control it, and they are leaving they are leaving the protected houses like just like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it is a menace for the protected cultivation. But what I suggest is the going for the crop rotation is the very important and easy method of controlling the nematodes, as well as we should go for the predators, growing of the predators.
Yes, sir.
That is, and soil sanitization is another method. These three methods will be definitely useful in controlling the mites, sir.
Okay, sir.
Mites
Sir,
as well as nematodes also, especially nematodes. The change of the what is called the crop rotation is the best method.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have one more question. You have used a term that is electric vibrators for pollination. So what is, can you elaborate it?
Sir, I'm not getting, sorry.
You have used the term electric vibrators for pollination in polyhouses.
Yes, sir. In market, we will get a lot of vibrators, that's sir. Actually, what will happen, when we will, it is just like a vibrator, simple vibrator.
Yes, sir.
Where we will hold the we will put the vibrator on the twine. So
Yes,
it will shake the plant, total plant for certain time. The time is also important. How much time we have to use the vibrator for one twine, one vine. So these are available in the market.
Okay, sir.
Hello, sir. One thing to add, sir. One thing
Please, sir. Please.
here. Vibrators can also be used for collection of pollen grains from the flower buds also. Hands free, because you cannot use to remove anthers with hands, because
yes. Thank you, sir.
Some of the diseases spread through pollens also.
Yes,
so
sir.
what you can do, you use vibrators to collect the pollen grains.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Actually, the problem with that is with that technique is, while you are using as a for suction purpose, you should have a proper calibration. Otherwise, you won't get anything.
Okay, sir.
That is the only problem. Otherwise, we can use it. That's sir.
Yes, sir. I have, sir, one more question.
Yeah.
Sir, how can we identify the good material which can be used for polyhouse? That is, when we consider these polythene sheets. So how we can know that it is of good quality and it will not be spoiled very soon?
Sir, actually, in our area, the monkeys have become a menace. That sir, you cannot have polyhouse structures in our area. So whatever the polyhouse you want to erect, they will tear the things like anything.
Okay, sir.
And one point, the other point is that, well, if your area is prone for high temperatures, or your area is prone for low temperatures, and whatever the thing is that now we have companies where if you just consult them, they will come and they will do everything that's up.
Okay, sir.
We don't have to have technical knowledge on it. They will fix and they will tell you why we have to use this one and that one. There are quite a lot of material is available, different variants, different gauges and all.
Okay, sir.
Yes, that's.
Thank you, sir. It was a very nice and informative presentation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Sir, excuse me, I want to add one point here.
Please, sir, please.
Sir, I'm Dr. C. Venkatramana. Sir,
Divya.
yeah, sir, how are you, sir?
Fine, fine, CV. How are you?
Sir. Sir, this 500 micron UV stabilized sheet is very good, sir.
Okay.
Then Geniger company is the #1 company in the world.
Okay, okay.
There is a lot
Sir, please
of.
make a note, sir. Come on, CV.
That is the information, sir. Just I want to add.
Thank you very much.
One more thing, that nematode management. Hello.
Yeah.
Pacillomyces is the best, sir. Pacillomyces we need to use regularly. If you notice the nematode or not, it should be used regularly.
Yeah.
Before starting of the crop. But whenever you are using Pacillomyces, it should be supplemented with neem cake and FIM.
Okay.
If conditions are very severe, we can sterilize the soil with hydrogen peroxide.
Okay.
The problem here is, if nematode population is very high, if we use hydrogen peroxide, there will be degradation of organic matter. After sterilization, you need to incorporate a lot of FIM or some other organic matter, whichever source you want to incorporate.
Thank you, CV. Actually, the problem of using any chemicals is that this is finally they are making a lot of soil fertility degradation. That is the
yes,
problem.
Sir. That's why. Yeah, the organic matter degradation will be there.
If you recommend for the farmer, he won't stop for once. He will start spraying repeatedly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just two options are there. Best one is Pacillomyces.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Please make a note, sir. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Noted
Thank you.
all of the information. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Recently, we have come across some seed production under protected cultivation. In Radamanur area, what they are doing is, instead of growing 2,000 plants in a protected insect-proof net of 40 mesh, what they are doing is they are reducing the size of the unit itself. So, for example, 400 female plants and 50 male plants, something like that. When I asked, they told us it is very easy for maintenance and cost effective also. Whether it is feasible, sir?
I'm sorry, sir. I could not get you.
Hello.
Could you please repeat, sir?
Hello.
Could you please repeat?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, sir? Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please.
Recently come across. Yeah. Instead of going for 2,000 plants, female plants, and 500 male plants, like under protected cultivation, recently some of the farmers are doing reducing the unit size of the plot. For example, instead of having 2,000 female plants, they are having only 500 female plants and 50 or 100 male plants, and under insect nets of 40 mesh. Whether it is feasible, sir, for this one?
Definitely not feasible, sir. You see, because the yield is definitely, if you reduce the number of plants, number of female plants, the yield will be reduced. And second thing is that after harvesting, whatever the seed extraction methods we are using, it is also difficult for a small quantity. Okay, so again, it is a problem for us. So it is better, see, for it is economical, we should go for more number of plants.
Okay. Thank
that
you.
is my observation.
Thank you.
Dr. Dhananjay,
Yes, sir.
yeah, if no question is there,
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, sir. If there are any no questions from participants, means we are going to wind up this session. May I now invite Dr. Suramsi sir to propose vote of thanks.
I'm here to propose the vote of thanks. Sir, very nice presentation, and we had a more discussion, good discussion. On behalf of University of Horticulture Science, Bagalkot, and College of Horticulture, Bidar, I'm very thankful to you, sir, for giving a wonderful information about the different types of protected structure and what are the seeds, the seed production activities taken under the protected cultivation, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ashok Suramsi sir, for proposing vote of thanks. Also, I extend my profuse thanks to all the participants for their patience listening to both the lectures of this session. And also, I would like to request all the participants to rejoin by using same link tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Thank you, one and all.
so I also thank all the participants for their patient listening and the organizers for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Happy New Year for our advance Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, sir.